Hello guys, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. So today I make this video to provide you some more information about research degrees and how you can get out of that degree to earn extra points for your PR pathway. And like others video, I made a presentation slide so that I can share with you. Let me share the screen for you. Okay, here we are, and let me make it the slideshow. Okay, now here we go. In today's video, I'll tell you 3 ways that you can graduate from a research degree. Many of you come to me and ask me that, is research difficult? Is it like easy to get it done? And is it easy to finish it? Actually, in my answer is yes, if you know some more information. So today, I'll provide you some further information about research degree. Okay, basic information about research degree. As you know, we have Master by Research and PhD. So for Master by Research, basically the course lasts for 2 years, 2 academic years, and you work under supervision of 1 or 2 supervisors, and you focus on one research topic. And in your Master by Research, you might include coursework study. What does it mean by that? It means that you might need to improve your understanding and research skills. So you might be required to undertake some kind of coursework studies. And at the end of your study, you need to produce a thesis of about 20,000 to 30,000 words. What about a PhD? A PhD normally lasts for 3 years in Australia, and it can be extended to 3.5 years. And like a Master by Research, you can work under supervisions of a team of researchers, normally 2 supervisors. One main supervisor and the other is associate supervisor. And you need to work on your research topic, one research topic basically. You can have more than 1 research questions. Okay, remember that you can have more than 1 research questions. And basically in PhD study, you do not need to do any kind of coursework study, because in PhD, it is assumed that you have basic understanding and skills to do the research. So you don't need any coursework study for that, except for if you don't have research background in your previous studies like bachelor or master, you might be required to undertake the integrated PhD program, which is like a 4-year study in which you will spend 1 year in your first year PhD to study coursework to improve your understanding about research before you can conduct your PhD research. And at the end of your PhD, you need to produce a thesis of 80,000 to 100,000 words. It's a long way to go. And all of that kind of workloads need to be done in 3.5 years maximum. Normally it's 3 years time only. Okay, so when you're working in your research projects, what your supervisor expect from you? There could be some expectation that your supervisor expect you to be qualified for. The first one is that they expect you to be an independent researcher. What does it mean? It means that you need to be very proactive, to ask, to make questions, and to manage your workloads. They don't push you. You need to push yourself to manage that workloads. And you need to be deadline focused and good time management. You can't be late because the time is limited. Only 2 years or 3 years, maximum 3.5 years for PhD. So you need to be very, very deadline focused to make sure that you can finish all the workloads in time. And you need to pay attention to details, of course. So in research, there's you have room to revise, but not too much. The second thing that your supervisor expects from you is that the meeting frequency. Sometimes it depends on your supervisor and you. It just depends on, let's say, how you want to meet and how you want to discuss the progress of your research. So normally it ranges from once a month or to 3 times a week. In my case, I met my supervisors once a month or sometimes twice a month, or sometimes like once every 2 months. It just depends on the workloads that you do. For writing and proofreading, so your supervisor expects that you have a smooth academic writing. What does it mean by academic writing? It just means that all your writing needs to be very concise, very academic, and it needs to be good. If it's not good, you need to get a professional proofreading services to do it for you before you submit your piece of work to your supervisor. The next expectation, journal articles. Ideally, your supervisor expects you to write at least one submission per year. It means that in your study time, 2 years or 3 years, it is expected that you have 2 or 3 publications, ideally. But it's not mandatory. So it's totally optional. And the last expectation that your supervisor want from you is that you need to be proactive in acquiring additional skills and knowledge in order to complete your research. Okay, so that is the expectation from your supervisor. What do you expect from your supervisor? Okay, so normally as a student, working with your supervisor, there could be some areas that you might expect to get from your supervisors. The first one is that a well-planned meeting schedule and contents. So in your first meetings with your supervisors, you need to propose some kind of meeting schedules and contents of your meetings. And you might seek the advices of your supervisors to confirm. For guidance, it needs to be clear and consistent, because the guidance of your supervisors is important, or I need to say crucial, to your research. So it needs to be very clear and consistent. It can't be misleading or something like that. For review and revision, your supervisors need to provide you a very, very logical comment. Sometimes it can be as detailed as possible so that it's easy for you to follow and for you to revise. Journal articles. Okay, this is a very important part of your research. If you want to publish journal articles and you do the research, you do the writing, you do the analysis, you do everything, and your supervisors provide you support for that. So you should be the first author and your supervisor will be the last. Sometimes your supervisor can support you and suggest you where and how to submit your paper. So that is all the expectation that you might want to get from your supervisor. Okay, so normally for a master bio research, it can be done in 2 years' time, and you need to make a good plan for that, but there's no milestone in master bio research, basically. For PhD, there could be some very important milestones that you need to follow in order to progress in your PhD research. The first one is confirmation of candidature. We call it COC. Normally, the COC process takes within the first 6 months to 12 months of from your commencement. So it means that when you started your PhD candidature, 6 months later or 12 months later, you need to do the confirmation of candidature. So what is included in the COC? Normally in the COC, it includes the lit review or literature review, the research gap and questions, and methodology and methods. Basically, those 3 areas need to be covered in your COC to make sure that you are qualified for candidature. The second milestone in your PhD is the mid-candidature review. It happens in between 9 to 12 months after your COC. So when you're done your COC, it might take you another 9 to 12 months to get the second milestone completed. And in the second milestone, what needs to be covered? Data collection, data analysis, findings, and discussions. So basically in mid-candidature, you need to provide nearly everything about your research. So based on the findings of your research, the panels will see whether it is like enough for your thesis. If it is not, then you might need to do some further researches to make sure that you cover everything and it is significant enough for you to graduate. And the last milestone in your PhD is called pre-submission seminar. And it normally happens between 9 to 12 months after your mid-candidature review. And in that seminar, you need to present everything in your research, from lit review, from research questions, methodology, data analysis, and finding and discussion. So basically, you need to present your thesis in the final seminar. Okay, so basically in the final seminar there, you need to present everything. Okay, now how to graduate. Like the title of this presentation, I provide you 3 ways that you can graduate from a research degree. So in Australia, basically, there are 3 ways that you can graduate. One is by thesis, or another word, by dissertation. So by thesis, it means that you need to produce a thesis of 80,000 to 100,000 words for PhD and 20 to 30,000 words for master, sometimes 40,000. And your thesis will be marked by external examiners. So it's not someone from your schools or your university. It's someone else from other university. And by publications. So if you want to graduate by publication, you need at least 3 good publications. What does it mean by good publications? It means that you need to have your journal articles published on a very like high ranking journals. So depending in your field of research, then the requirement will be there for you to follow. And the last one is the mixed methods between the two. So you can combine between the thesis and publication to graduate. Okay, so you might want to ask me why we need to do a research visa. Like I said in previous video, there could be a lot of pathway for you to get your PR with research. Now I'll tell you some more benefits of like getting a research visa for you to consider. The first one, work limitation. Okay, normally, as you know, in Australia, you're allowed to work 40 hours per fortnight. So basically, literally speaking, it's 20 hours a week. But for research, you can work unlimited for you and for your dependent as well. So basically, if you come to Australia to do research with you and your spouse, so both of you are allowed to work unlimited hours. And dependent schooling. Majority of states and territories in Australia provide you free schooling for your children, like in ACT, in Queensland, in WA, in Tasmania, and Victoria. What about the others? They don't provide like full fee waiver. It depends on your scholarship. There could be some reduction in tuition fee for your dependents. And if you're doing a research, you can get additional year for TR. I mean, 485 visa. So you can earn up to 3 to 4 years of your TR instead of like 2 years for either master by coursework or bachelor. And you earn more points for your PR point test, 10 STEM points, like I told you in my previous video there. And you would have more visa options. What are they? Okay, 189, definitely, because you got another 5 points for your degree. Might be another 10 points for your STEM studies and 5 points for regional. And of course, you might eligible for 190 because now there are many opportunities for PhD graduates to get sponsored without job offer. You can check the policy easily on the internet, and there could be one possibility that you can be eligible for 858 visa. It is a global talent visa. And as you know, in my previous videos, the quota for global talent visas tripled in 2021. Thus means that you have 15,000 slots for GDI. So that's why if you do research, you wouldn't have more opportunity to get your PR. And scholarships, you have a lot more opportunities to earn scholarships. I need to say very generous scholarships, 100% tuition fee, 100% living stipend, or both of them. I call full scholarships. So there are a lot of opportunity for you in there. You know what? Normally every year, Australian government spend about $2 billion for scholarships, for research scholarships, I mean. So if you consider, let's say 40,000 for tuition fee, 30,000 for living stipend. So like 1 year, one scholarship would cover 70,000. If you get 2 billion divided by 70,000, you will see how many scholarships are there for you to grab. Okay, so definitely, I need to confirm that the scholarship opportunities for research studies is more generous than coursework study, and it could be like easier for you to get if you know how to start. Okay, now grants. What about grants? There could be a lot of grants for you to go for in order to increase the value of scholarship for you. One is research top-up. The other one is thesis allowances. And sometimes you have relocation allowances as well, travel allowances as well. So as you can see, there are a lot of benefits for research visa. So you can start thinking about doing research now. But I know that not many of you can do research. So if you have any questions or concerns about research and how to start the research, you can contact me by the following information there. I finished my PhD in management back in 2015. I know it's quite long ago. I'm not in like a research area now, but I can support you so that you can improve your possibility to do research. And then you have a like brighter pathway to PR, definitely. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. Send me like emails or questions on Facebook, WhatsApp, whatsoever, so that I can provide you some information. And I'll stop the video today now, and I'll see you next time in the next video. If you like the contents of the video, remember to subscribe and like so that you can follow what is going on in my channel. Okay, have a good weekend and enjoy your day. Bye-bye.